Hello friends, let us continue with the performance of a medium transmission line. The third method we will discuss today. The nominal pi method, which is also called as a split condenser method. Let us understand that the main objective of you know to find out the performance is finding out the voltage regulation and the transmission efficiency, right? That is the main objective of doing all these analysis. Okay, now the nominal pi method, in this method the capacitance of the transmission line has been split into two equal parts. Okay, C by 2 and C by 2. One capacitor is connected across the load, another across the sending end. Okay, so it has been split into two equal parts. One is connected across the receiving end and another is connected across the supply side. And we have a line current IL which flows between these two capacitors through the transmission line. Okay, let us understand, let us see that VR is your reference voltage. I mean to say that receiving end voltage which is taken as a reference to draw vector diagram. IR is a receiving end current or load current. Okay, IC1 is the current flowing through the capacitor at the receiving end, and IC2 is the capacitor current or the charging current which is through the capacitor which is connected across the sending end. R and XL are the resistance and inductive reactance of the transmission line per phase. Okay, now IL is the vector sum of IR and IC1, and IS is the vector sum of IL and IC2. If we want to calculate the percentage of voltage regulation, then we must know Vs, okay, because the percentage regulation is given by Vs minus VR divided by VR. Okay, VR is given, VR is known to us, and we need to calculate what is Vs, that is sending end voltage. So, in this method, the capacitance of each conductor, that is line to neutral, is divided into two halves, one half being lumped at the sending end and the other half at the receiving end. It is obvious that the capacitance at the sending end has no effect at all on the line drop, but its charging current must be added to the line current. This is the line current, in order to obtain the total sending end current. Okay, so our objective is to first calculate what is Vs. How do you calculate Vs? Okay, if I want to calculate Vs, which is also the voltage across this capacitor, I must calculate what is the voltage drop across this. If I want to calculate what is the voltage drop across this, then I must understand, I must calculate what is IL. Okay, if I want to calculate IL, I must calculate what is IC1. Okay, so now I know VR. So what is IC1? VR divided by XC1. So you will get IC1. You add, IR is known to us. So you add IC1 to IR, I will get IL. Okay, if I get IL, then IL into R plus J of your current into this impedance I into Z, you will get this voltage drop. Okay, this voltage drop plus VR, you will get Vs. This is simple. Okay, now if I want to calculate what is Is, then you must add IC2 to IL. I know IL, I don't know what is IC2. Then to calculate IC2, you have already calculated Vs. Therefore, IC2 is equal to Vs divided by XC2. Okay, so we will get Is also. So using this, we'll draw the vector diagram first by taking VR as a reference. Okay, let us see that. So by taking VR as a reference, okay, now IR lags VR by an angle phi r. Okay, IC1, or you can say ICR. ICR means the capacitance that is connected across the receiving end, that is ICR, right? Like this is ICR, which I have written as IC, C by 2, C by 2, right? So this is ICR. IC1 I have written to ICR. This current leads VR by an angle 90 degree. That's what has been written here. This current leads VR by 90 degree. So if ICR is added to IR, what you will get is IL. Okay, and this IL, when it flows through resistance, it will create a voltage drop which is in phase with IL, and this current, when it flows through inductive reactance XL, it will create a voltage drop IL into XL, which is leading this current by an angle 90 degree. The same thing has been written here. IL into R is in phase with IL, and IL into XL is leading this IL by an angle 90 degree. So if you add these two drops with VR, what you will get is Vs. Vs is equal to VR plus IL into R plus IL into XL. Okay. Now, if I want to calculate ICS, that is the capacitor current at the sending end, this leads this Vs by 90 degree. Adding IL and ICS, you will get IS. Okay. What I'll repeat that. IC2. Okay. When this this current leads this voltage by 90 degree. Okay. That's what has been written here. ICS leads this Vs by 90 degree, and adding ICS and IL, you will get IS. Okay. See here, VR is taken as a reference, so VR is equal to VR plus J0. Load current IR is equal to IR. It's all vector. Okay. IR is equal to IR into cos phi r minus J of sin phi r. So now I want to calculate what is the charging current that is flowing through the capacitor, which is at the receiving end, that is ICR, is equal to J omega C by 2 into VR. So line current IL is equal to IR plus ICR. Okay. Sending end voltage Vs is equal to VR plus IL into Z. What is Z? R plus J of X. So finally, I can calculate ICS. ICS is equal to J omega C by 2 into Vs. Okay. And IS is equal to ICS plus IL. Okay. So this is what we have got from this. From this you can calculate what is the performance parameters. The performance parameters are voltage regulation, that is voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus VR divided by VR, and calculate the line losses I square R, that is a line loss. I means here line current, IL square into R, that is a line loss. Add this line losses to the input power, output power, you will get the input power, isn't it? Output power, you know, VR IR into cos phi r. You add IL square into R with 2 VR IR cos phi r, you will get the input power. What is the input power? Vs Is into cos phi s. So you will get the efficiency. Efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. Output power is VR IR cos phi r. What is the input power? Divided by VR IR cos phi r plus I square R, IL square R. That is the efficiency. So this is how we can calculate the performance parameters. Okay, thank you.